one thing we've noticed, this place has some big, creepy spiders.
Ugly. Like poisonous. Like
We saw
deadly.
we pulled in and there was this big spider sitting there on a web, kind of black and yellow and really creepy looking. Made a lasting impression on Michelle. That same night she had a nightmare.
Big spider chasing me.
Size of a rat, she said. It was chasing you?
Yeah, the whole dream. It was big, puffy, gross.
Big and puffy. Somebody else coming in here at Lake Whitney and Thousand Trails. Not a bad place to stay. Done 4 loads of laundry today. Kind of takes away from the time trying to work. Shut the gray tank here. I always leave it open because when you're doing especially 4 loads of laundry, that'll fill up your gray tank pretty quickly. Oh, let's see, we've been here in Texas for 2 weeks now. Michelle and I really only get to explore on the weekends since we work during the week. Our first weekend, we explored down to Waco, Texas and visited Magnolia Market. We're gonna go see Chip and Joanna.
Our friends.
Yeah. Didn't know if you knew that, but they're close friends of ours. Just saying. Hey, there's a farmer's market or something going on over there.
Oh yeah, they have that going on today. It's also a Baylor University football game today too, in town.
Really?
I'm a checker.
Oh, she's a checker. Waco, Texas, Magnolia Farms.
We're gonna go see Chip and Joanna games. Invited us here for lunch.
Yeah.
Along with about a few hundred other people. I don't know, but that food sure smells good.
Ooh, it does. It's kind of like we're at a fair.
Hey, this is just one part.
Where is that place? They call that something?
That's the shop.
The shop. We're in the shop. Can you tell? Yep, we're in the shop. Still haven't found Chip and Joanna. Surely they aren't just gone.
I think they ditched us.
They ditch us? They might have ditched us. I mean, they're such good friends. They've never ditched us before. Probably because we've never seen them or met them before.
Right.
Maybe that's why. That could be why. Oh. Silo baked goods. Wonder how long the line is. Oh, no.
Yeah.
More sweet tea. was that lemon lavender cupcake?
Well, I like about anything lemon, but this was lemon lavender. It was very good, though.
That was a good time. I'm glad we stopped there at Magnolia Market.
It's definitely worth a stop. Yeah, they have a really nice setup, very family friendly. You know, they have the games set up in the yard area. That was really fun. I really hope I don't fall.
Well, you be nice and maybe you won't.
Yeah, and then, so we're leaving Magnolia Market.
Michelle got her phone out, as she always does, and starts doing some research. She looked up the Waco Mammoth National Park, was looking at other things to do in the Waco area, and found
Dr. Pepper Museum. Did you know that Dr. Pepper was founded in Waco, Texas? I did not know this.
So cool. Why not stop there? From there, we went to the Waco Mammoth National Park.
Yes.
Which was really, I'm glad we went there.
My gosh.
That was really neat.
That was definitely worth it. It was only $5 a person. We got in just in time. It was like their last tour of the day because they close their last tours at 4:30, and we got there at 4:31 and they let us in. The tour guide was very informative.
Very, very informative.
What we've been uncovering are fossils of Ice Age animals, and the Ice Age down here in the South is a lot different than what y'all are having in Iowa, and I don't know where y'all are
Virginia.
from. Yeah, definitely different than Virginia, yeah. So you guys, well, Iowa, you would have had some glaciated areas,
a little bit.
Yeah, because that's where your lakes and stuff come from. Virginia, you guys would have been icy sometimes, but not that frequently. Down here, it was never icy. Like, yeah, Texas has never been cold, not once. So, really, if you went down the west coast and then cut over from California to Florida, that whole boomerang shape, you had this really open grassland, really temperate zone. And here in this part of the state, we had kind of low seasonality is what they call it. Today we have really hot summers, surprisingly cold winters. Back then the temperatures were more even. So you could pick any day of the year. Odds are really good. It would be 60 to 70 degrees. It's pretty nice. Yeah, it's what you feel right now. We have Columbian mammoths. And then those Great Lakes and New England area, they had woolly mammoths. So your typical woolly males would be about 10 feet tall at the shoulder. The Columbians that we find here could get upwards of 14 feet tall at the shoulder. And they have been found all through North America, but there are only 2 sites that have bunches of them. Us, and there's a site up in South Dakota.
Wow.
Yep, the South Dakota site was a sinkhole. They've been digging down into that sinkhole. They have found 61 mammoths so far. Every single one of them is male. The females were really good at avoiding dangerous areas, and that tells us when we have a group of females like this that there was something really bad that happened, something that was unavoidable. Because, you know, if you've got something like a saber-toothed cat's lair, you know, they're hanging out in caves, the girls know that, they can avoid it. This had to have been something that they could not predict. The city of Waco acquired the land and made basically a handshake agreement with the university because Baylor had been digging this out. They said, you know, we can team up. If you move the bones out, we can fill up the hole, build you a little interpretive center right here. You run that museum, we'll run the park around it, and we'll open up to the public. And so Baylor moved everything out in 1990, and then the city decided to rent a backhoe to pull dirt from over here to fill up the hole. Found another mammoth, and that's how we ended up with Pit 2. So we formed a nonprofit organization, and they raised the funds for this building, and so we were able to protect Pit 2. This is one of only 2 climate-controlled dig sites in the U.S. It's 70 degrees year-round, and we try to leave the bones exactly where we uncovered them. 9 times out of 10, when we find an animal here, it's in the position it laid down in thousands of years ago. Yeah, so we have been digging from April 1978 all the way up to present. You're going to see basically where we're at after 41 years in here.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this does walk behind you. If you give it a knock and I'm still by here, I can
Just think.
I know.
That's amazing.
Isn't it? It's like having X-ray vision. You walk over stuff like this every single day, but you just can't see it.
That is incredible.
Because, you know,
my God, I'm like amazed.
Some of it's going to have little dips and valleys.
So much different when you see it in person.
And I actually ran an experiment with my 1230. I've been working here 7.5 years. We have found 5 new animals in that time. All of them have been elsewhere in the park too. So if you combine pit 1 and pit 2, we've dug about an acre. We have found 23 mammoths in that acre. We have about 10 more acres of this deposit that we need to dig down, and it's going to take about 60 years. It needs to be sifted to look for little fossils. Yeah, that's just
this is actual size.
This is actual size, yeah. Asian elephants would be not much shorter than a woolly, right about here at the chin. So Asian elephant, woolly mammoth, African elephant. The smallest ones are called falconers mammoths. Those live in the Mediterranean. A large diamond-shaped opening. You got yourself a female, and diamonds are a girl's best friend, and that's how I remember the difference. Now, this girl's tusks, we've got her left one still on site. It's going into the ground. The right one actually got removed, and it's been set aside for study. The tusks grow in increments. If you take the tusk and cut it lengthwise, you'll see lines in there. There's 1 line per season. Yeah, so you can tell from one season to the next how that animal was doing. Yeah, and with girls, you can tell every single time she was pregnant.
That's so cool.
It is.
When they were digging all of this out, you can kind of see the tracks. This high pile over here is all the backfill that they took from down here.
This is a human thigh bone and a male thigh bone. Look at the difference. This is like
Wowzers.
almost three-fourths of my body.
We're staying at Thousand Trails, Lake Whitney, and they're doing a lot of renovations around here. The pool seems really nice. They have 2 pools, but one of them's closed. This campground it's spread out over a big area.
Yeah, it's very large.
Kind of secluded. All the campground, like A, B, and C area, they're all kind of secluded from each other. There's a lot of sites that have trash bags over the electrical posts. They're installing new ones, and ours happens to be a new post. It's a little bit away from everything. There's a little town of Whitney that has a few stores, and Whitney's only a population of about 2,000.
Average small town.
Kind of gives you a little bit of insight about the campground. Meet our
Make sure
buddy.
you talk about our buddy.
Hey, Gray. Got anything to say? Got anything to say? Hi. Yeah. You like that? Huh?
Oh, right there, right there.
Seems really nice. They have 2 pools, but one of them's closed. I've got a cat rubbing my leg.
It's very friendly.
I don't know where that cat came from.
I don't know, hopped out of the trash can
We were
or
standing
what?
here talking. I swear that cat was in that trash can. You working today?
A little bit.
Lake Whitney Dam. On the dam. Say hi.